And what if I told you that real, lasting transformation in your life doesn't come from drastic changes or grand gestures, but from small, intentional actions repeated daily? The life we're creating, the goals we aim to achieve, they're all shaped by the little things we do consistently, not by occasional bursts of effort. Now, here's the key insight. If you commit to a handful of simple yet impactful daily habits, you'll start noticing changes within just 30 days. You'll feel more focused, more motivated, and more aligned with your direction and the steps needed to get there. But this requires consistency and trust in the process. Just like a tree doesn't grow overnight, you won't see a complete transformation on day one. However, by nurturing these habits, you'll soon begin to witness real progress that moves you toward the life you genuinely want to build. Many people drift through life without a clear structure. They set goals, but without a system to reinforce those goals daily, their commitment fades, leaving them wondering why they feel unfulfilled. They have aspirations, but lack a routine to bring them to life. What we're discussing here is the importance of injecting purpose into each day, establishing routines that bring us closer to our goals, and keeping us grounded when distractions or doubts try to steer us off course. It's similar to the principle of sowing and reaping. You don't just plant a seed and walk away expecting it to grow into a tree. You water it, protect it, and nurture it daily. You tend to it with care, and one day, seemingly all at once, that seed takes root and flourishes into something strong. The same principle applies to our habits. As we explore these daily habits, think of each one as a seed. Envision planting it in your daily routine, giving it the attention it needs, and observing how it influences your mindset, attitude, and sense of purpose. The secret lies in the practice, because the small things you do consistently will ultimately shape the bigger picture of your life. The first daily habit I want to highlight is dedicating time each day to reconnect with your goals. This isn't about writing down your goals once and forgetting them. It's about keeping them alive in your mind daily. This practice serves as a powerful reminder of what you're working toward and why it matters. Imagine starting each morning by reviewing where you want to go. Visualize the life you're building, not as a vague concept, but in vivid detail. Picture what it looks like, how it feels, and what it means for you and those around you. By engaging with your goals every day, they stop being distant dreams and become tangible realities you're actively constructing in the present. So why is this daily review so essential? From the moment we wake up, our days are filled with distractions. Responsibilities, conversations, and various demands on our time can easily take over, and if we're not mindful, we might find ourselves caught up in it all. We go through the day on autopilot, only to realize by the time it ends that we barely thought about what truly matters. But when you begin each day with a clear focus on your goals, you're making a conscious choice, you're setting an intention, you're saying, this is the direction I'm heading. That sense of direction is what keeps you grounded when life throws challenges your way. It gives you the ability to resist distractions and stay on track while others drift. Take a moment each morning, whether by jotting things down in a notebook or simply sitting in quiet reflection, to go over your goals. Remind yourself why they matter. If it helps, write down one simple step you can take that day to move closer to them. It doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes the smallest steps are what keep us progressing, but they need to be tangible and intentional. Another important part of this habit that often goes unnoticed is connecting not just with but also with the why. Saying, I want to improve my health, or I want to start a business, is one thing. But the true motivation to follow through comes from understanding why it matters. Does improving your health mean living longer to watch your children grow up? Does starting a business mean building a legacy for your family? Those deeper motivations give your goals real significance, and that meaning is what fuels us. But here's a word of caution. Don't fall into the trap of setting goals that don't truly inspire you just because they sound impressive or look good on paper. The goals you reconnect with each day should resonate with you on a personal level. They need to feel alive within you. When you're genuinely passionate about a goal, it's like a fire that never burns out. Even on difficult days, that goal will keep pulling you forward because it matters deeply to you. One thing I've observed over years of mentoring is this: the people who achieve great things don't just set goals once and forget about them. They keep those goals close, treating them like a compass that directs their daily actions and decisions. And if you commit to this habit, you'll find it becomes a powerful force in your life, keeping you focused, grounded, and progressing even when challenges arise. Think of this habit as an anchor. Life is unpredictable, full of ups and downs, but an anchor keeps you steady. When you know where you're headed and remind yourself of it daily, you become less affected by external disruptions. Of course, challenges will still come, but you'll face them with a sense of purpose, with a vision that doesn't fade amid daily struggles. Here's another useful tip. Reviewing your goals in the evening can be just as powerful. Before going to bed, take a moment to reflect on what you did that day to move closer to them. Did your actions align with your purpose? Did you make choices that support your journey? This kind of reflection keeps you accountable, and if you fall short one day, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, treat it as a learning opportunity. Adjust, improve, and keep moving forward. That's how growth happens. After just 30 days of reconnecting with your goals each morning, you'll start to notice a shift. You'll feel more focused, more motivated, and more resilient. You'll begin making choices that align with your vision rather than simply reacting to whatever comes your way. And that, my friends, is how you build momentum, the kind that makes 30 days just the start of an incredible journey. Next, the second daily habit I want you to adopt is the practice of reading, but not just any reading. I mean reading with purpose every single day. Take time to enrich your mind with fresh ideas, new perspectives, and valuable knowledge. We live in a world that is constantly evolving, and if we're not learning, we're falling behind. When you make reading a daily habit, you're giving your mind the fuel it needs to stay sharp, grow, and handle whatever life throws your way. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying you need to spend hours buried in books. The power of this habit isn't in how much you read, but in the consistency of it. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day spent reading something that educates, inspires, or challenges your thinking can make a significant impact. The beauty of reading is that it expands your world and shifts your mindset. Every time you pick up a book, you're absorbing the experiences, lessons, and insights of people who have walked different paths than yours. You're exposing yourself to ideas that could take years to discover on your own. And sometimes all it takes is one powerful idea to change the course of your life. Imagine that, a single sentence, a fresh perspective, or a new understanding could give you the clarity you need to make a decision you've been putting off. Why is this such a powerful habit? Because just like the body, the mind needs to be nourished. Just as you wouldn't expect to stay physically healthy by eating only junk food, you can't expect your mind to grow strong and resilient if you're constantly consuming gossip and distractions. Reading daily is a way of feeding your mind with high-quality fuel. It keeps you sharp, curious, and continuously learning. Here's another thing to consider. When reading becomes a daily habit, you start recognizing patterns. You begin connecting ideas from different fields, seeing how various subjects overlap and influence one another. That's where innovation happens. That's when your thinking expands, allowing you to bring fresh insights into your work, relationships, and personal goals. I once worked with a young man who wanted to develop his business skills. He assumed he should only read books on business, sales, marketing, and finance, but I encouraged him to expand his scope. Read about philosophy, psychology, history, learn how the human mind works, understand what motivates people. He followed my advice, and over time, his entire approach to business transformed. He wasn't just applying technical skills anymore, he was understanding people on a deeper level. That made him a stronger leader, a better communicator, and a more strategic decision maker. So what should you read? That's entirely up to you, but I'd recommend starting with something that challenges and inspires you. Choose books or articles that fill your mind with positivity and wisdom, content that encourages growth rather than mindless consumption. If you're working on your financial goals, read about wealth building strategies. If you want to strengthen your relationships, study communication, empathy, and understanding others. If self-discipline is your focus, seek out authors who've explored that very topic. A great tip is to keep a list of books or authors you want to explore. That way you're never left wondering what to read next. Next, as you read, don't just passively take in the words, engage with them. Take notes, highlight key passages, and jot down ideas that resonate with you. When you interact with what you're reading, you're far more likely to remember and apply it. Daily reading doesn't just expand your knowledge, it shifts your mindset. It keeps your mind sharp, prepares you for challenges, and gradually transforms the way you think, solve problems, and view the world. It equips you with a toolkit of ideas, strategies, and solutions that you can draw from whenever needed. Over time, you become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more resilient. Now, one important thing to keep in mind, be patient. Don't expect immediate, life-changing breakthroughs every time you pick up a book. Some days, you'll come across an idea that completely shifts your perspective. Other days, you might read and feel like nothing really clicked. That's okay. The key is consistency. The benefits of daily reading build up over time. Each day, you're adding to your mental reservoir, and at some unexpected moment, you'll realize all those pieces of knowledge have come together, forming a new understanding, a fresh idea, or a clearer vision for your life. By making reading a daily habit, you're committing to lifelong growth. You're declaring that you're willing to keep learning, improving, and expanding your mind. And when you embrace that mindset, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Now, let's move on to the third daily habit, physical movement. You might be thinking, of course, everyone understands that exercise is important. We've all heard it before. But the real question is, do we prioritize it daily? Do we treat it as a key part of our personal growth, mental clarity, and resilience? When I talk about daily movement, I'm not just referring to staying fit or reaching certain physical goals. There's something much deeper at play. The human body is built to move, stretch, and exert energy. Movement isn't just about fitness, it's about overall health, vitality, and mental well-being. When we don't move enough, when we stay sedentary for too long, it affects more than just our bodies, it impacts our minds as well. We lose energy, focus, and the sharpness that comes from engaging our bodies the way they were meant to be used. A strong body and a sharp mind go hand in hand. Daily movement fuels both, unlocking potential in ways you might not even notice at first. Imagine starting each day with some form of movement. It doesn't have to be intense or time-consuming. The goal is simply to wake up the body, engage the senses, and send a signal to yourself, I'm ready for this day. As movement becomes a daily habit, you'll begin to see changes, not just in your physical health, but in your mood, mindset, and energy levels. Movement releases endorphins, the body's natural mood boosters. Even a brief session of physical activity can lift your spirits, reduce stress, and give you a sense of vitality that drives you forward. Now, think about how powerful it is to start each day this way, energizing your body and sharpening your mind. It's like charging up your entire system before you even begin. Another major benefit of daily movement, resilience. When you push your body, even just a little, when you stretch beyond your comfort zone, you're training yourself to grow stronger, not just physically, but mentally as well. I've met countless people who've told me, I'm not strong or I'm not resilient. But here's the truth. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And one of the simplest ways to do that is by challenging yourself physically, by developing the discipline to move every day, even when you don't feel like it. I once worked with a man who had never made exercise a part of his life. He was deeply focused on his work, highly driven, but he was missing something, energy. He constantly felt drained. So I suggested a simple daily habit, a 15-minute walk each morning. At first, he was skeptical. How is such a small habit going to make a difference, he asked. But he agreed to give it a try. A few weeks later, he came back and you could see the change in his face. He felt more alive, more focused. He told me, I can't believe it. I actually look forward to my walk now. It feels like I'm giving myself a gift each day. And that's exactly what it is, a gift to yourself, a commitment to your well-being. Now, let's be clear, movement doesn't mean you have to become a marathon runner or a bodybuilder. It simply means honoring the body you have, keeping it active and engaged. Some days that might be a workout. Other days it could be stretching or a short walk around the block. What matters is that you move daily and create a habit of physical engagement. When this becomes part of your routine, you strengthen the connection between your body and mind. You'll notice your focus sharpening, your energy stabilizing, and your overall sense of well-being improving. But beyond the physical benefits, daily movement fosters self-discipline. It's a way of telling yourself, I am committed to taking care of myself. You're strengthening the muscle of commitment, the muscle of self-respect, and that discipline carries over into every other part of your life. When you push yourself to move daily, even when it's inconvenient, you're training yourself to stay committed, to be consistent, to show up even when it's difficult. And that mindset is powerful. It influences your work, your relationships, and your goals. One of the biggest benefits of this habit is the clarity it brings. We've all had days where our minds feel foggy, where focus feels impossible and productivity is a struggle. More often than not, that mental fog can be lifted simply by getting our bodies moving. Even light exercise increases blood flow, bringing more oxygen to the brain, which enhances focus, elevates mood, and gives you a clear mind to tackle the day's challenges. Some of the best ideas, the most profound insights come when we're moving, when both body and mind are fully engaged. Daily movement isn't just about fitness. It's an investment in the overall quality of your life. It improves your ability to concentrate, to create, to accomplish. Make the commitment to move every day, and keep in mind, this isn't just about immediate benefits. Each day you stay active, you're building a healthier, more resilient version of yourself, one step at a time. Imagine where you'll be 30 days from now if you stick with this habit. You'll feel more alive, more energized, more focused. You'll handle stress better, feel more grounded, and develop a stronger sense of capability. That's the kind of transformation that impacts every area of your life: a strong body, a clear mind, and a resilient spirit. And that brings us to the fourth daily habit that can truly change your life: practicing gratitude. Now, this habit is incredibly powerful, yet it's often overlooked when we talk about success. We tend to associate success with achieving more, doing more, constantly striving for the next big milestone. But gratitude is about grounding yourself in the present, appreciating what you already have, and shifting your focus from what's missing to what's right in front of you. The human mind is naturally wired to focus on problems, to notice what's lacking, to chase the next goal, the next desire to fulfill. And while that drive can be a powerful force for growth, without gratitude to balance it, it can leave us feeling perpetually unsatisfied. We get caught in an endless cycle of wanting and striving, never pausing to acknowledge the progress we've made or the blessings we already have. That's where gratitude changes everything. It shifts our perspective, grounds us in reality, and creates a sense of wholeness and peace. Practicing gratitude daily is simple. It doesn't require much time or any special technique. Just a few moments of genuine reflection, whether in the morning or before bed, is enough. Take a moment to think of 3 things you're truly grateful for. They can be anything: a supportive friend, a meaningful achievement, the comfort of your home, or simply the opportunity to chase your dreams. The key is to focus on what truly matters to you and to feel that gratitude deeply, not just as a passing thought. This habit may seem small, but its impact is profound. When you train your mind to focus on what's good, on what's meaningful in your life, you naturally start seeing more of it. Gratitude is powerful, but it has to be genuine. It's not about forcing positivity or ignoring real challenges. It's about choosing to acknowledge the good even in the midst of difficulties. Some people fall into the trap of performative gratitude, where they say the right words but don't truly feel them. That's not the goal here. True gratitude is felt, not just spoken. It's about cultivating a deep awareness of the blessings, big or small, that already exist in your life. And here's something else: gratitude doesn't mean settling. Some people think that if they focus too much on being grateful, they'll lose their ambition or stop striving for more. That's not true. Gratitude and ambition are not opposites. They actually fuel each other. When you're grateful for what you have, you operate from a place of abundance, not desperation. You make better decisions, take smarter risks, and pursue success with a sense of purpose rather than fear or lack. The truth is, gratitude makes you stronger. It keeps you centered, focused, and resilient. When life throws challenges your way, gratitude helps you reframe them, not as roadblocks, but as lessons, as opportunities to grow. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. So start today, whether it's through a gratitude journal, a moment of reflection in the morning, or simply expressing appreciation to someone in your life. Make gratitude a daily habit. You'll be amazed at how it transforms your mindset, your relationships, and your overall sense of fulfillment. Being grateful doesn't mean turning a blind eye to life's difficulties or pretending everything is flawless. It also doesn't mean you stop striving for growth or overlook the areas where improvement is needed. Gratitude is about finding balance. Understanding that while challenges exist and there are things you may want to change, there's also plenty of good in your life right now. It's about embracing the present moment with appreciation and acceptance, even as you continue working toward a better future. Making gratitude a daily practice builds resilience. When you develop the habit of focusing on what's good, setbacks don't feel as overwhelming. Challenges appear less intimidating because you've conditioned your mind to look for the lesson, to spot the silver lining, to seek out something positive, even in difficult moments. Gratitude gives you the strength to keep moving forward, to persevere, because you're rooted in an awareness of the blessings already present in your life. You're not operating from a mindset of scarcity. Instead, you're coming from a place of abundance. Now picture how different your life could feel after just 30 days of practicing gratitude. You'd become more positive, more resilient, and more at peace. You'd begin to recognize opportunities rather than only seeing obstacles. You'd feel wealthier, more fulfilled even before reaching your biggest goals. That shift, that deep sense of being grounded and whole, will fuel every other aspect of your life. It will give you quiet confidence, a calm certainty that you already have what you need, that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, even as you work toward what's ahead. So whether at the start of your day or as you wind down at night, take a few moments to reflect on what you're grateful for. Think about the people, experiences, and opportunities that truly matter. Let it serve as a reminder that your life is already abundant, already filled with meaningful and beautiful moments. And from that place of gratitude, notice how your perspective shifts, how your sense of purpose deepens, and how your life begins to transform from within. Now, the fifth daily habit that can lead to profound change is the practice of reflection. This habit is straightforward yet incredibly powerful. Each day, take a few moments to review what you've accomplished, what you've learned, and how you've evolved. Reflection is about self-awareness, checking in with yourself to understand your progress, your challenges, and the lessons that come with them. Life moves fast, and it's easy to get caught up in daily routines and responsibilities. Without a habit of reflection, we can lose sight of where we're headed. Reflection acts as a compass, keeping you aligned with your goals, aware of your values, and ready to make adjustments when you veer off track. Think of it as taking inventory at the end of each day, a chance to pause, assess, and grow. The beauty of daily reflection is that it doesn't require much time. Just 5 or 10 minutes can bring powerful insights. Ask yourself a few simple yet meaningful questions. What went well today? What didn't go as planned? What did I learn? And most importantly, what can I do differently tomorrow? These questions may seem basic, but when you engage with them consistently, they provide deep awareness. They highlight patterns in your behavior, mindset, and approach. They help you recognize areas of improvement while revealing where you still need growth. Now, let me make one thing clear. Reflection isn't about judgment or self-criticism. It's not about dwelling on mistakes or feeling bad about missed opportunities. Instead, it's about awareness and learning, seeing each day as a stepping stone, a chance to improve and refine. By taking time to reflect daily, you're making continuous adjustments, always improving in a way that feels natural and sustainable. One thing I often suggest is keeping a journal specifically for reflection each evening. Write down the key moments of the day, the lessons you've learned, and any small adjustments you want to make. This doesn't have to be a long, detailed entry, just a few sentences capturing what stands out. Over time, you'll be surprised by the insights this practice brings. You'll start to recognize patterns in your behavior, your thinking, and your decisions. And as those patterns become clearer, making meaningful changes becomes much easier. These insights act as a mirror, revealing both your strengths and the areas where you need growth, giving you a clearer sense of who you are and where you want to go. Reflection also plays a huge role in building resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and when we don't take time to process our experiences, stress and burnout can build up. Daily reflection creates space to process your day, let go of what no longer serves you, and carry forward only the lessons that will help you grow. It's a habit of releasing, of setting down the weight of the day and moving forward with clarity. Another powerful benefit of daily reflection is accountability. When you take a moment each day to ask yourself whether you lived up to your own standards, whether you stayed aligned with your values, you naturally develop a stronger sense of self-accountability. You're not just drifting through life on autopilot, you're actively engaging with your choices, your actions, and your direction. Over time, this habit of accountability strengthens you, increases your self-awareness, and brings you into deeper alignment with who you are and where you're headed. I once worked with a man who felt stuck, as if no matter how much effort he put in, he wasn't making real progress toward his goals. He was busy, even productive, yet it always seemed like he was spinning his wheels. So I encouraged him to start a daily reflection practice. Each night, he took just a few minutes to review his day, writing down what he had accomplished, what he had learned, and where he could improve. After a month of doing this, he came back to me and said, I can't believe the difference. I see patterns now that I was completely blind to before. I see the habits that were holding me back, the little things I was doing without even realizing it. Through daily reflection, he had gained the awareness he needed to make real changes. And with that awareness came power. The power to shift his habits, to focus more effectively, and to finally feel at peace with himself. That same clarity is available to you. When you pause each day to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and choices, you're building self-awareness and giving yourself an opportunity to grow just a little more each day. As you commit to this practice, you'll notice your life beginning to align more and more with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. So before you go to bed each night, take a moment to reflect. Whether you prefer to write things down or simply sit quietly and process your day, the key is consistency. Make it part of your routine. Think about what went well, what lessons the day brought, and where you can improve. Let this habit serve as a daily reminder that each day is an opportunity to refine yourself, to learn, to take one more step toward becoming the person you want to be. Now imagine where you'll be 30 days from now. If you stick with this habit, you'll develop a stronger sense of self, a clearer vision of your path, and a deeper understanding of what it truly takes to reach your goals. Reflection turns experience into insight, and insight into growth. It's a habit that compounds over time. One that sharpens your focus, strengthens your character, and adds depth to everything you do. Now you have the framework for transformation, 5 daily habits that, when practiced consistently, can create meaningful change in your life in just 30 days. But remember, this isn't about dramatic gestures or overnight breakthroughs. Real transformation happens through steady, deliberate action. It's about committing to small, daily steps that over time add up to a lasting impact. Think of these habits as the foundation of a strong, fulfilling life. Some days they'll come easily, you'll feel motivated, energized, and ready to take them on without hesitation, but there will also be days when it feels like a struggle, when distractions pull you off course, or when life's demands seem overwhelming. And that's exactly when these habits matter most. Because consistency isn't about how you feel on any given day, it's about your commitment to show up no matter what. When you integrate these habits into your daily life, you're setting a new standard for yourself. You're declaring, I'm committed to my growth, to my vision, to becoming the best version of myself. And as time goes on, that commitment builds confidence, strengthens resilience, and creates a momentum that makes each new day a little smoother, a little more fulfilling. As you embark on this journey, keep in mind, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. If you miss a day, don't let it discourage you. Simply get back on track the next day. Focus on building a rhythm, on making these habits feel so natural that they become a core part of who you are, a part of how you move through life. Think about where you could be in 30 days and 60 days in a year of living this way. Imagine feeling more focused, more energized, more connected to yourself and your goals. Picture the clarity, the confidence, the inner strength you'll develop. And as you make these small changes day by day, know that you're investing in a future filled with purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Each of these habits is a stepping stone, a crucial piece of the bigger picture. Together, they create a foundation that allows you to grow, to thrive, to build a life that's in alignment with your values and your dreams. So don't wait. Start today. Make the commitment and let these habits propel you forward, one step at a time toward a life transformed.